The year is 1943. The Japanese army was at its peak and had just bombed Pearl Harbor. They had taken many American soldiers captive and were marching them through the jungle to a prison camp. Among them was a young lieutenant named John. He had been badly wounded in the attack and was barely hanging on. As they made their way through the dense foliage, one of the Japanese soldiers noticed that Lieutenant John wasn't keeping up with the rest of the captives. "Hey, you," the soldier yelled, kicking John in the ribs. "Why are you so slow?" John, struggling to catch his breath, replied, "I don't have to tell you." The soldier leaned in close, his eyes blazing with anger. "I will make you walk." And with that, he reached out and plunged his bayonet deep into John's leg. The pain was excruciating, but John refused to show any emotion. As the Japanese soldiers continued their march, John slowly began to crawl. He had to get away, escape, and survive. His life depended on it. He crawled through the jungle for what felt like hours, the pain from the wound in his leg becoming unbearable. Finally, he came across a small clearing and collapsed. As he lay there, he could hear the distant sounds of the Japanese soldiers talking and laughing. They had found him, but they hadn't captured him. John had managed to escape. Over the next few days, John did everything he could to take care of his wound. He cleaned it, bandaged it, and then waited for someone to find him. Eventually, he was spotted by a U.S. Army Air Force's search plane and rescued. When he returned to the United States, he was interviewed about his experience. "I was never scared," he told the reporter. "I knew that if I showed fear, the Japanese would have killed me. So I pretended I wasn't scared." The reporter nodded, understanding. It was a good thing that John had been strong and brave, but he couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if John had been broken. What if the Japanese had captured him? Would the United States have lost an important piece of history? In 1944, John became one of the most important figures in the Pacific Theater of Operations. He led his men into battle against the Japanese and helped to liberate many of the Pacific Islands. His bravery and determination were an inspiration to all who served with him. When the war was over, John returned to the United States a hero. He had survived the Japanese, led his men to victory, and become one of the most important figures in the Pacific Theater of Operations. He had done all this while pretending to be something he wasn't. You see, when John was interviewed after being rescued, he didn't tell the truth about how scared he had been. He didn't want people to think he was weak, so he lied and said he wasn't scared at all. But the reporter saw through John's lie. He knew that John had been scared, but that he had overcome his fear, and that's what made him a hero. John's story is one of courage and resilience. He was a man who pretended to be something he wasn't, but in doing so, he became even stronger. Don't be afraid to be yourself. It's what makes you unique and strong. This is your host. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing stories.